dude, if I really want to make something happen for myself and make like put myself in a situation where I'm really gonna have to grind for something, so I'm gonna have to make it really hard on myself, right?
Yeah.
Where I'm gonna have to really get out there and hustle. I'm really gonna have to put myself in that mindset, like if I don't make this dollar, if I don't make this next sale, my family's not gonna survive. Right?
I love that. Welcome to another episode of the Off Flight Podcast. We're back with our second episode of season 2. I have a special guest. Before we get into that, look, we're trying to grow. I'm trying to do multiple episodes a month and provide value to you guys. Interesting people coming in. Hopefully we have fruitful, thought-provoking conversations that helps you out no matter what you're doing. So any kind of support, love, like, subscribe, share it. If you hated something, share it. If you love something, doesn't matter. Appreciate all that. So, and if you know anyone that might find value in being part of this journey, any kind of sponsorship or anything of that nature, have them set a DM and we can have a conversation and work something out. So appreciate you guys. And yeah, so with that, we got a special guest. We have a very special guest in the building right now. Luciano's here. Now, Luciano, the thing about him is he's a hustler. Let's just put it that way. He has an amazing story. You're someone that really motivates me, dude. Not gonna lie. And yeah, man, I'm excited to talk with you and share a little bit about your story and kind of where you're heading and your mindset with things and whatnot. And so, one of the things that sticks out to me that I think we should kind of start at, and you can tell me if you think differently, but is your story of working at a prison and then just taking that leap of faith or changing your mindset. We'll talk about what it was for you. Yeah. To making over a $250,000, right? So 50K to 250, prison to working for yourself. Let's start there, bro.
Yeah, for sure, man. Well, first of all, thank you for having me. I appreciate it, and thank you for the kind words.
Yeah.
But anyways, so yeah, bro, I worked at a prison for 5 years. I did that. I was a corrections officer here in Washington State, and I was probably like, initially when I first started working at the prison, my initial goal was actually to become a cop. That was like, I was locked in, that's what I wanted to do. That's what I told my family that I was going to do.
Yeah.
And bro, it just like towards the end of I think towards like year 3 or year 4 of being a prison officer or prison guard, I was like, man, I don't know if I want to do this anymore, right? I started seeing things change. I had my daughter, which was a huge game changer for me, right?
Yeah.
So that really changed my mindset, changed the way that things were going for me. When I had her, it kind of really set the tone for things and really put it into perspective. Like, man, do I really want to keep doing this? What I'm doing now is pretty dangerous as it is, right?
Yeah.
I get to think every single day, am I really going to come home to my family each night?
Mm-hmm.
And then if I do go on the road being an officer, and then with the things that were going on during that time, I was like, that's just going to that's going to increase the chances, right?
Yeah.
I'm going to have a lot more encounters with people, and it's just something I didn't want to put my family through.
Yeah.
Ultimately. So I started to dig into entrepreneurship, because I kind of did, before that, I kind of did sell t-shirts, and I kind of had an entrepreneurial mindset,
Yeah.
I was starting to dig into e-com. I was starting to dig into all kinds of things, just something to make a quick buck or make the next, dollar, right?
Yeah.
So I started digging into that, and then towards I want to say year 4 of being a corrections officer, that's kind of when we went to, well, a little backstory actually before I get into that.
Yeah.
Me and my wife had flown to Mexico because we were working on her paperwork.
Okay.
And I was sitting in the hotel, dude, and I was supposed to go back to work probably in 6 weeks, right? After I had returned back to the United States after everything was said and done. And during that time, we were sitting in the hotel room with our daughter, and I was really thinking I don't think I want to go back. This is I was already at home with my family for probably a year now, because I took time off, because I had, I literally never took a day off when I was working at the prison. So I had all this time accrued.
Yeah.
So I was I took advantage of it. I took the time off, right?
Yeah.
And so when I was sitting there, I was like, I just really don't want to go back, dude.
Yeah.
And that's when this opportunity came, and I saw that SoulGen was hiring. So I'm sure you know a little bit about SoulGen, right?
Yeah, I do.
So, bro, I went to go knock doors for SoulGen for like 6 months. So 6 months passed, was knocking doors, and then I just called the prison. I was like, I quit. Like, just plain out, like, simple like that, bro.
Yeah. Yeah.
It was scary, you know, but to get myself into the mindset, I kind of like, I thought back, like, dude, if I really want to make something happen for myself and make, like, put myself in a situation where I'm really gonna have to grind for something, is I'm gonna have to make it really hard on myself, right?
Yeah.
To where I'm gonna have to really get out there and hustle. I'm really gonna have to put myself in that mindset, like, if I don't make this dollar, if I don't make this next sale, my family's not gonna survive. Right?
I love that. Let's sit in this for a second, because I think there's a lot of people out there that are, you know, making $45,000 a year, right? So like, and you said you had a little bit of an entrepreneurial mind, like you're selling stuff. Like, was there people that kind of pushed you, or was there anything else that kind of like made you think like, no, I got to face something kind of scary to like get to that next level?
I really didn't have anybody to look up to. I mean, I did a lot of like YouTube digging around, like around e-commerce and all that, right? Like entrepreneur stuff. And then you hear all these people making $1 million in a week or $1 million in 2 weeks, right? Like those ridiculous YouTube ads or whatever you get.
Yeah.
You're just like, yeah, this shit's fake, right? Or unless you're gullible, you maybe believe it.
Hey, watch the rest of this episode. At the end, you will make $5 million.
Yeah. But anyways, back to what I was saying. I just really, dude, I really had to check myself and put myself in that situation where it was going to be scary, you know, and I kind of owned up to that. I was like, if I really want to make this thing work, I'm really going to have to get out there and work.
Yeah. Put yourself in a position that's almost vulnerable, back against the wall. Like it's sink or swim, right?
Oh, dude, exactly. How you put it, sink or swim. Like, I either make it or I don't, you know, I either bring diapers and food to the table, or I'm screwed.
Yeah.
Really, because my wife wasn't working at the time because she had to take care of the baby.
Yeah.
Right.
So you knew, like, so there's a scary of working at the prison, right? Like, you know, we all know what that risk is, right? But then there's also the scary of working in a sales position, of not hitting a number, not getting a sell. And there's that, you know, there's two different kinds. And you saw the upside for sales versus a prison being, you know, making way more sense, right?
Oh, yeah. I mean, like, we're comfortable human beings, right? We're raised to be comfortable, and it's really tough to get into an uncomfortable position. But I feel like us as humans, that's where we see the most growth, right? Because being locked into, you know, a W-2 job or a salary job where you know you're going to make money regardless, right?
Yeah.
You're going to make money regardless. And in some cases, like, let's say right now, people are probably not getting fired because people are really hurting for people, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of the time people are working, you know, just to get by, right? And that's not what I wanted to do. I didn't just want to get by. And surrounded by the people that were there at the prison, I met a lot of good people. A lot of my coworkers were good people. But a lot of them also had a very like crappy mindset, right? They didn't see better in themselves, or they were really like, they're downers, right? They just like set themselves down before even trying something.
Yeah.
And that mentality really starts to be, you know, toxic to you. You start to think like them, you start to act like them, you start to walk like them, and it's really like, it's toxic, bro.
Yeah. I mean, you can really believe that story. You tell yourself of like, my story is I work at a shitty job, and I feel shitty every day, and like, it sucks, but I got to do it to make it to the weekend and have some fun, and then do it all over again. Like, you could really tell yourself that story and believe it.
Oh yeah, bro. And like, exactly how you put it right now, I felt that. Like, you know, like, bro, that's what it was. Like, just enough to get by, and that's not what I was about, bro.
So do you think people like in that stage, like it's a mindset thing, or how would someone know if they're comfortable? I guess someone's watching right now, like, do I fit in that category? Am I too comfortable? What do you think is like a good test for someone?
I mean, we know ourselves better than anybody else.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, if you're doing just barely enough to get by, you know, if you're an entrepreneur, right, you're barely doing enough to get by. Yeah. But if you're a very hardworking entrepreneur, and what I mean by that is like, you're going above and beyond for your employer.
Yeah.
You're out there like seeking what can we do next to make this business boom.
Yeah.
You know that you're not you're not comfortable, right?
Yeah.
Because you're always looking to get that one up. Where can we make the next improvements? Where can we make the next changes to better myself, better this company, or whatever it might be, whatever you're doing.
Yeah, and I think people can get caught into that like mindset of like, oh, I work at this place, I'm gonna do my hours and do like what's on that checklist and just bounce. Which, look, if that's your mindset, go ahead, respect. But also, there's an opportunity. Hey, you are working every day with the owner of this place. What if you came up with an idea that generates revenue for the company, and then who knows, you might be able to partake in some of those profits because you ran that new venture or whatever. Like that's kind of like entrepreneur, right?
Yeah. I mean, it makes you more valuable.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, as myself as an entrepreneur, if my employee is bringing me a ton of value, it's gonna be very hard for me to let that person go.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I'm gonna do anything in my power.
Yeah.
To keep whoever that might be, right? Because they're bringing a ton of value, and it really, if I have to let go of that person, I mean, now I'm screwed.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. Did you have an entrepreneur mindset before you went into sales, door knocking, or
no? I didn't, bro.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, everything that I learned. Well, actually, that's a lie. That's a lie because I did not. When I was working at the prison,
yeah,
I was doing summer door knocking for Vivint.
Okay.
And not a lot of people know that, but
shoot.
I did knock doors for Vivint for a little bit. I was selling security systems while working at the prison, just because I wanted something to do, bro.
Yeah.
Like I get very comfortable very quick, and I get very bored very quick, right?
Yeah.
So I think that was like when I went to go knock doors with Vivint, that's when I started to get into that entrepreneur mindset. Like I was starting to want to go like discover new things, right? What can I do? What kind of new skills can I learn? And dude, knocking doors, I don't know if you've ever knocked doors before, but I'm sure you've done some sort of sales.
Yeah, I did Cutco nights. Bro, yeah, that was rough, not gonna lie.
But there's a sales job compared to a salaried or W-2 job, where you're making money is totally different.
Yeah.
It's like you're really, in order to make that dollar, you have to work.
Yeah.
And you have to work your ass off.
Yeah.
Like it's not easy.
Yeah.
Right.
You got to perform.
Dude, yeah. So I think that's probably like the only like entrepreneur like experience that I had before that, before I started working for SoulGen. But after that, I mean, working at SoulGen, being surrounded by like-minded individuals that wanted to grow and that had that understanding of like, dude, if I want to make, this amount of money, I really have to go out there and knock doors, talk to people, right?
Yeah.
Make those numbers happen. And you're pretty much working your ass off. It didn't matter if it was, 10 degrees outside. People out there knocking doors.
Yeah.
112 degrees. People out there sweating, dude. For that door. Because why? Because you got to put money on the table. You got to put food on the table.
Were you always hitting your sales goals?
No, I wasn't. So the first time that I actually went out and knocked a door, I guess I was kind of lucky because literally the first door that I hit, I had made a set, right? So that person sat down, listened to what we had to say. They didn't end up moving through to buying a solar system or whatever. So I kind of got discouraged. I was like, damn, I don't know if I'm meant for this. Like shit, I might have to go back to the prison, right? There's those moments where I really like doubted myself, but I was never like an outperformer. Like I didn't meet sales goals every single month. There's people doing way better than me. But as soon as I started to see like who was doing better than me, dude, I like piggybacked off. I'm like, hey, like start teaching me. Like I started to learn, start to see what they were doing. So I could start implementing those kind of things into whatever I was doing, right? My business. So whatever it was, whether it's like, learning new sales tactics or learning, how to like use your voice properly, right?
Yeah.
Whatever it might be, whatever it takes, right? You start to learn on those things and really implement them into your business. Cause like I said, you really have no choice.
Yeah. Dude, that's a testament to you right there. Just like having the mindset of like, hey, seeing someone else perform at a high level and being, humble enough to want to learn from them. Yeah. Because the flip side of that is like, oh, they're only doing so well because X, and that can keep you in that spot, right?
Oh yeah, and I mean that's the main reason why people are where they're at, right?
Yeah.
I mean, make excuses, sit there and complain,
Yeah.
or you either go out there and do what you got to do to succeed, or make it happen.
Like Hormozy says, I will do what's required.
Dude, yeah. I mean, zero options mentality, dude.
Right?
Exactly.
So we're around like the graduation time for high schoolers, and I guess every college as well. What do you have to, but more specifically to like high schoolers, what would you say to them as they graduate and they go out into the real world, college and all that? Like, what's your advice? What's your advice to those people?
I mean, I can't give no college advice because I didn't go to college, right?
Yeah.
I don't. Honestly, I'm gonna be straight out blunt and honest.
Yeah.
I think college is probably the biggest scam
Yeah.
in the United States.
Yeah.
Simply put, because I mean, like I said, I didn't go to college. I graduated high school. I had scholarships to go to college, but I never used them because fuck college, right? But anyways, bro, biggest scam there is. I mean, I didn't go to college, and I made $250,000 in a year.
Yeah.
Without having to pay, debt.
I mean, the average salary from college is probably, I would say, like in that 60K range, or 50, 60K range, which is like, what? It's not even
not enough to survive. That's for sure.
Yeah, I know.
I couldn't.
It's just
family, kids.
Well, and then it's like, yeah. I mean, I went to college, so I feel like I'm even stronger in my belief. Similar is like, man, looking back, if I could get a loan for that same amount and maybe get like a real estate property and start cash flowing, I think that would have been the better route.
Yeah.
Or losing X amount of dollars trying a business and getting an education through that way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Dude, no, totally, man. I think there's a lot of, creative ways to make money. And I think entrepreneurship is definitely not for everybody. It's not,
Yeah.
I mean, it's either you're a good entrepreneur or you're a good entrepreneur, right? And you just got to figure out where that's at, because being an entrepreneur is super hard, bro. Like, even I went from working, 12-hour shifts, working 24 hours a day, right? And I thought that I was going to become an entrepreneur to have my own days off whenever I wanted to, and that's not the case. I mean, like yesterday, I had an open day on my calendar. I woke up feeling good. Dude, it ended up being a shitstorm by the end of the day. Like,
yeah.
I had a lot more things to do than what I thought I had.
Yeah.
Right. So, but that's just really what makes us, stronger as individuals, makes us better entrepreneurs. And, we start to learn from these things and how to implement systems that make things work for us.
Do you think the biggest thing for success in entrepreneurship is like just mindset, or do you think it's discipline, or what do you think is like the biggest attribute or best indicator that someone might be like for that world?
I think it just really depends on who you are, but I mean,
yeah.
I think characteristic wise, definitely like discipline and mental toughness and just being a go-getter, man. It's just really what it takes, because it's definitely not easy.
Yeah.
Every single day feels like you're gonna go out of business, and I still feel feel like that to this day. You know, and even like I've got steady. I know that I've got appointments booked up on my calendar for the next 2 weeks.
Yeah.
But even today, I wake up feeling like I might go out of business.
Yeah.
And it's definitely not like that.
Yeah.
But I think it's just a feeling that never goes away.
That's a good. I mean, I think that's a healthy way to be, though, right?
Yeah.
To be hungry.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So you go door knocking for Solgen. That plays out how it plays out. What's after that?
So when I was door knocking, I had my real estate agent reach out to me.
Okay.
He literally he knew that I was doing photography and videography as a little like side thing, a little passion piece, right?
Yeah.
I never charged anybody to take pictures or anything, but he just knew that I was taking pictures. So he reached out to me. He's like, "Hey, I got this house that I need to sell. I know you have got a camera. Can you take pictures of it?"
Yeah.
I was like, "Dude, I've never taken pictures of a house in my life."
Yeah.
I told him I don't even have the right equipment for this.
Yeah.
He's like, "Bro, like I really need somebody." I was like, "All right, man. Like I'll do it for you, but I'm not gonna charge you." I told him just like that. So I ended up going to this house. It was out in Outlook, Washington, so probably like 45-minute drive, right? Kind of close to Sunnyside. I drove out there, took pictures of this house, and I found out that I really enjoyed what I was doing. Like I ended up liking shooting this house, just the general interaction with the homeowner. Like they're super excited, right, to get out of this house. to get it sold. Just me taking pictures. It was an art form, right? It's something different than taking portraits, like taking pictures of people or shooting a video, a wedding. Like,
Yeah.
I just felt like in my zone, and I was by myself doing my own thing.
Yeah.
Right. And that's kind of like that's when it clicked, man. Like, I was like, if this guy reached out to me, he really needed a photographer this bad, to the point where he's willing to give me the opportunity, right? And me not having any experience in shooting real estate photography, I was like, there has to be a need. Like, there has to be something here, right?
Yeah.
So that's when I took it upon myself. I was like, man, I'll just use these skills that I learned from door knocking, like learning how to generate leads, how to just bring people in, and use that as an advantage to start growing this real estate photography marketing business.
Yeah.
And bro, that's exactly what I did, man. I sent out a bunch of cold emails, started making cold calls. Like, I kid you not, for probably like 2 or 3 weeks, I was sitting on Facebook and Instagram DMing real estate agents just so I can get my foot in the door. And dude, as soon as like probably 2-3 weeks of doing that for, I want to say maybe 4 to 6 hours a day, I was like messaging people. I was getting pretty annoying to people. I kid you not. Like, I had a few real estate agents tell me like, bro, it's getting a little bit too much.
Hey.
But but like, I had to, like I said earlier, like I had to provide. Like, that was the only way that I was gonna be able to bring money and food to the table. So I was out there grinding, did that for a few weeks, and then it started to work, bro. I started to get real estate agents to call me and start giving me the opportunity. I started to offer free photo shoots to people when I first started. I know some people say, oh, don't ever give, products for free or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think the closest thing that I can use to relate to is like, what does a drug dealer do when they're trying to get clients? They offer their product for free, right?
Wouldn't know.
They offer their products for free. It's kind of a weird like way for me to.
No.
But
I get it.
Anyways, but they offer that product for free just to get a taste, to get them hooked, right?
And you like it, then you're like,
you like it,
yeah,
they're hooked.
Yeah,
exactly. So that's kind of the way that I thought about it. I was never a drug dealer, so I did work around a lot of drug dealers. So I was working in a prison setting. Yeah. So like, tell me how I know that. But anyways, so I started offering free photo shoots and just showing people the way that I work, showing people the quality that I have to bring, and just the value. Right.
Yeah.
And I think people started to realize that I wasn't just there to, shoot real estate photography. I was there to actually start making relationships with people, bring some sort of value to them and actually help them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. So do you think that that's where someone should start is providing value without expecting any kind of return at first?
Oh, definitely, man.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people think that, working for free is, it like either devalues the industry, or it's just like too much, or whatever it might be. I think people just don't want to work for free.
Yeah.
But really, I mean, that's what it might take sometimes.
Yeah.
Because if you think about it, when you open a business, your reputation is negative.
Yeah.
You don't have any reputation. It's not 0.
Yeah.
It's not 10. Right. It's negative. Nobody cares about you. Nobody knows you. Right. And in order to bring that reputation up, you have to make that first client.
Yeah.
And when you get that first client, you better treat them like they're the last client you'll ever have.
Yeah.
And that's how it goes for the next one.
Yeah.
And the next one and the next one.
Yeah.
Right.
And that's a grind. That's a grind right there, huh?
Yeah. I mean, you treat every single client that you have like they're the last one that you'll ever have.
Backing up a little bit, did your parents have like a certain mindset that influenced you?
I mean, no. I mean, actually, yes and no. Both my parents are field workers, right?
Yeah.
My mom retired, and then my dad got medically retired because he got hurt at work. But both of them worked the field, labor jobs. They never came from an entrepreneur mindset, but just seeing them, how they worked, like to put food on the table, you know, and provide for us, because we definitely didn't come from a wealthy family.
Yeah.
Field workers, labor workers, like grew up in a trailer, right? In East Pasco. I've been in East Pasco for 20 years now, my whole life.
Yeah.
Right. So I grew up through all the stuff that happened in East Pasco. I saw how it happened, and, that's kind of what I came from. So just like seeing them work hard to give us a good life without really having much.
Yeah.
Just really just shine down on me, man, and just put me at where I was to hustle and provide for my family.
I knew why I liked you so much, bro. I'm from East Side. I'm from the East Side Pasco too. I think we just hit a little different.
Ain't nobody like us, that's for
No,
sure.
that's it. I mean, it's specific. East Side Pasco. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's right.
No, that's okay. So all right. So you hustle, you grind, you reach out to people. Business starts picking up, and so I mean, is there more to that story, or where do you feel like that's at today?
I mean, right now my business is really booming, you know.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I started this 2 years ago, and it's a steady incline up.
Yeah.
Like we're getting business right now. I'm getting new employees, right? So
Okay.
I'm hiring people. I'm starting to look at what other locations we can start to send people out to go take pictures of houses and stuff. So
Yeah.
we're really we're at a growth point right now, right? And we're also facing growing pains.
Yeah.
That's for sure, right? So
Yeah.
we're starting to turn people away, which I hate to do, right? But it gets to the point where
Yeah.
I've got to start to focus on how can I grow this business that I have. That way we're not turning people away, and that we can keep as many people and service as many people as possible.
Do you have? I'm sure you have reoccurring clients, right?
Oh yeah, I mean I want to say maybe like 60 to 70% of my clientele is return.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because they say, I mean, one of the things, I mean, you reached that point where, I remember reading this book or hearing that phrase of like there's like that 20% that affects the 80%, right? Or 20, you know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, I know, I got you what you're saying.
so you're probably getting to that point even, right? Like,
Oh yeah, I mean it's like a lot of reoccurring business is from the same clients, the same like relationships that we've built. Like I said, I'm really huge on relationships, and I really nurture the professional relationship that I've got with my clients, because dude, that's ultimately what's going to keep me going, man. Like,
yeah,
you know, if they're happy, I'm happy, and if like there's ever a problem, there's that understanding, right?
Yeah.
Like, hey, they know that I got them, and they know that I'm gonna do anything in my power to fix whatever it might be.
yeah, no, yeah. I mean, that's strong, and it's hard to break. I mean, and sometimes in this world, like you could have a better product, better service and everything, but that relationship might be so strong. And I know some people might hate on that, but also it's like, it's just a powerful bond. People, I mean, we have one life and we're all trying to better ourselves. I'd rather do it with someone that I like working with, you know what I'm saying, that I've built a relationship with.
Dude, for sure, man. And I mean, there's no bigger, you know, I guess there's no bigger value than having somebody come to you as a referral. Like that is probably the most powerful thing, because when you, like, for example, if I tell you, you know, Flight Tapping Table is probably the best, it's got the best drinks in Tri-Cities, you're probably going to go and try it, right?
Yeah.
Versus, you know, so like people referring other people out to your business, like they already come with a good sense that you're going to be providing them a good quality product, right? Versus somebody that just come off the street that walks past Flight Tapping Table, they don't know what to expect.
Yeah.
Right. But these people that get referred out to you, their mind is already primed to, I'm going to get a good product.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I don't give out compliments like that unless I really mean it, because I kind of tie it to myself, you know? So I feel like it is a strong recommendation.
And that's how it is for a lot of people. I feel like, you know, like if I'm going to refer somebody out to a business or somewhere, you know, they better be giving me like the best service.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because I don't want to tie my name to something that isn't going to provide.
Yeah. I mean, that's identity, and your relationship is so powerful. Let's talk about well, did you read any, like, do you read a lot, like books? Are there any books that got you?
I do. So I never read like an actual book until I started 75 Hard.
Okay.
So when I first started 75 Hard, part of the program is to read 10 pages of a book, you know?
Yeah.
So that's when I first started to actually like read. And so one of my favorites to this day is $100 Million Offers by Alex Hormozy.
Okay, I haven't read it yet. I haven't read it.
Okay, solid book if you wanna make money.
I do.
that's a solid book. Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins is another solid one. I'm a strong believer of like reading books multiple times. I don't know if you've ever listened to Bedros Keuillen.
Yeah, I do. I
Okay,
like
so
his-
I heard this from this guy. He's like, I respect a man that reads one book several times over a man that reads a book that reads 100 books.
yeah.
Because bro, like depending on what stage we are in life, like this book has different values in it. Like, and depending on what stage we're in, like we start to feel and connect to these things. And
Yeah.
I really feel like books are a cheat code to life that I never
Yeah.
really knew.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, no, they're so powerful. That's what I was asking because I know some books influence me. And so I was just curious, like if you had any books that changed your perspective on life.
Yeah, those two are super good. And I think the first one that I ever read was Rich Dad Poor Dad.
Yeah.
That's a really good one as well. A lot of just like self-development books is really like what I read. I don't read any fiction books like Harry Potter or anything. I mean, no offense to people that love Harry Potter, but I find no value in it.
So what has this podcast in the background? They're reading Harry Potter. Like what?
I'm sorry, bro.
Oh man, that's fun. Do you do you listen to a lot of podcasts right now?
I do. I think two of the main ones that I listen to is Bedros Keuilian, and then Ed Milet has a new one that just came out. It's really good. And then obviously Andy Frisella. That's
That's your guy, huh?
yeah, that's my guy, man.
Yeah, he's
changed my life, that's for sure.
Yeah, that I like the way he's just kind of blunt about everything and just says how it is, you know.
Yeah, I mean that's one of my favorite things about him. But you know, like I said, when I did 75 hard, that was probably like the biggest life changing like moment that I had ever. You know, even like I've done a lot of things right within 3 years or whatever it's been, but those 75 days really like mellowed me out. They humbled me and they really made me realize like, bro, like you ain't shit.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
Right. Every day was a grind. I really had to, cause I mean, if anybody knows what 75 hard is, they know it's a hard program. It's not meant for the normal person.
Yeah. So it's it's drink a gallon of water a day, read 10 pages of a book, have 2 45-minute workouts, one outside, follow a meal plan, and
yeah.
So is there one other thing else?
I think that's it. Yeah.
Huh? Oh, take a photo.
Take a photo every day.
Yeah. That's it seems easy, right?
Yeah. Oh yeah. But you start to, I think if you ain't mentally tough or you get complacent easily, then you're gonna mess up, and that's the thing is following the program to the T. And I mean, if you follow this program for 75 days, I promise you become a better person.
Yeah.
In every area in your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I agree. I remember it was 2020 when I first started listening to him.
Yeah.
And it was perfect because I was like, man, I just wasn't feeling too good, man, like during that time. And I just remember like wanting to change and yeah, 75 hard was like, yeah, just like, come on, just fucking do that shit. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It just got me into that right mindset that I needed to like snap out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude. So now you're heavily into fitness, right?
Oh yeah.
Like you really have taken like a next, like a deep step into that, right?
Yeah. Oh, definitely, man. I think so. When I was working at the prison, I obviously I posted about this in my story not too long ago, but a few days ago. But when I was working at the prison, like I used to have to work out because if I ever got put in a situation where I had to fight an inmate or protect my partner or whatever it might be, right, and I had to physically get involved, like I wanted to come home at the end of the night, right? I wanted to make it home to my family. And then when I started getting into entrepreneurship and I started my business, I got really complacent. Like I got very busy. I felt like I had no reason to work out anymore. Like I was like, who's gonna fight me out here, right? But then I had to check myself, and I find myself doing that a lot. Like I get myself complacent, and then I think that's just a part of like being mentally tough. That's really like that I learned from working at the prison, doing 75 hard, like just really checking myself. And I told myself like, dude, like this might be pretty dark, but I was like, man, what if someone breaks into my house? I have to fight some dude, and I can't even last 20 seconds.
No, it's not dark, bro.
Like,
we gotta think like that.
Like, bro, what if that happens? Like, I can't even last 10 seconds to fight some dude and protect my family.
Yeah, that's what you're giving your family.
Or protect like the neighbor that's in the grocery store that just been shot. Like, bro, like I can't live with that. I can't. So I really had to check myself, and I had to get myself back into the gym, doing things that were like outside my comfort, right? And that's when I just started to really like zone in on fitness, learning different ways to stay healthy, different ways to get fit. Like, bro, I just really dug back into it. You know?
Is this more of like a hobby for you, or do you feel like you want to start like a business opportunity, or to get business opportunities from this?
I think right now it's definitely a hobby for me. Like I'm still experimenting. I think maybe down the road, I do have plans of possibly opening a gym, you know, or doing something along the lines like that. Cause I do love helping people, right? I love people, seeing people get better results. Like for me, there was that point where I was like, I just felt like crap, bro.
Yeah.
You know, and the second that I lost all this weight, I felt better, right? And I know how it feels to be in that situation. And I know a lot of other people feel the exact same way, right? They're just stuck. They have a shitty like mentality. They have a crappy like mindset. So I know what it feels to be like that. So I think eventually I do, like right now I'm still in the learning process of learning like the health and fitness world, right? But I think eventually I do want to open a gym and possibly help people.
That'd be sick, man. That'd be sick. Gym working out is just net positive for so many areas, right? Like like the way you interact with, I mean, like you said, it's for your family as well. It's not even just for you, right? Like,
oh yeah,
your currency or time is like the ultimate currency, and working out is how you get more of that.
Yeah, I mean, it's really the biggest investment that you can make in yourself. Like, you don't realize, you know, how much of a difference that fitness and just being healthy has an impact on you. Because, dude, once you start being consistent and really stacking those W's every single day, like, bro, you start to feel different. You start to open your mind up. You start to really start educating yourself, and you start to feel confident. You start to feel way better. And it starts to just lead you to different things. Like I felt before I was doing good, you know, and once I started to get into fitness again and I lost all that weight, like I hit a new level in my life. Like I feel like it opened so many doors because I felt confident. I felt comfortable in my body, right? And I just wanted to learn more, do more. I wanted to surround myself with a lot more people. And bro, it just like, I don't know, it's weird how it works, you know, like your mind, your heart, your body, it all connects.
Yeah.
It's all one.
Do you stack wins in the morning?
Oh, bro, every day, man.
Yeah.
Every day, bro. Whatever, you know, it starts off by going to the gym at 4 a.m. Yeah. That's the first thing. That's my first W of the day. I mean, it's kind of like, I've heard like people do like doing their beds, you know, stacking small wins, you know, in the day. And that's my small win is going to the gym at 4 a.m.
Bro, I would say your win is probably going to bed at 8:30 the night before.
Yeah, that's tough, bro. Like I did it yesterday for like the first time because I was going to bed at like 10, 11, and I was only getting like 5 hours of sleep.
Yeah.
Like, and it was like this for probably like 6 or 7 months. Actually, probably longer because when I started my business, like, bro, I was getting no sleep. I was probably sleeping like 4 hours a night. Whew. You know, so that was definitely a game changer. Like going to bed early, going to bed at 8 last night. I feel good today. Tell you what, though,
I bet.
I do. I feel real good.
Yeah, I was I knew we were gonna shoot today, so I was like, man, I want to be well rested. I was like, I want to get 2 nights of good rest. And it's funny how like on a Friday night you could just like sit there and put on like maybe like a movie like at night and be like, you could stay up and watch it, or you can be like, man, my body's kind of telling me I'm tired. I should probably just lay down and just be a freaking adult. You know what I'm saying? Like,
no, I mean, dude, I think that just alone that night last night, dude, it made me feel so good. I feel great right now.
Yeah,
I feel real good. I got like 7.5 hours of sleep.
Jeez,
Man, I feel like a new man.
Let's talk about making, you know, 50K to 250. What do you think is like the biggest change when a dollar amount? Because I think a lot of people out there like want to become an entrepreneur or maybe entrepreneur or just move up in their own career to make more money. What do you think the biggest change was for you?
Like in the sense of life or materialistic things?
I don't know. Maybe it isn't materialistic for you. Maybe it is. Maybe it's just life, or maybe it's nothing. Like I'm just curious of like what you saw.
Well, bro, honestly, I did not expect to make 250K. To tell you the truth, I went into my business with the mindset of I just have to make ends meet. Mm-hmm. Like this first year, I have to just make enough to where it's like comparably like matching what I was making at the prison, right? Whatever that 50K was, 55K or whatever, right?
Yeah.
So that was my initial goal. And then I started to see that I was making a lot more than, than what I strive to do.
Yeah.
So, bro, I think that really just kind of like checked me. Like I was like, I don't know what to do with all this money. So I just started throwing it, in savings or whatever. I started like venturing out to different things. But I think it just really humbles you.
Yeah.
And like for me, I don't come for money, bro. Like I never expected to make all this money.
Yeah.
I mean, I've always liked nice things. I always like nice shoes.
Yeah. I mean, yeah.
Nice car. I like nice things. So it feels nice to finally be able to just go out to dinner or take my wife, whenever we want to, just go out and eat and not even have to think about, like, am I going to have enough money tomorrow?
Yeah.
Right? Those kind of things feel good. And I think when I was making 50K, I was definitely living check to check.
Yeah.
Right. And I remember how uncomfortable that felt. I remember, I had very little money to go around and play around and do whatever I wanted. And now that I'm in a more comfortable position, it's super nice to be able, to be there, and it's super humbling, and it's definitely a blessing.
Yeah. Yeah, man, I hear that. I remember like my first goal was just to be able to go out to a restaurant and be like, shit, I hope I have enough for this date. Like, you know what I'm saying? And then you get that and you're like, kind of like relax a little bit.
Yeah.
So you bring up your wife before we get into like to that, because family is a huge part. And a lot of the guys that in my circle that I really look up to and really just inspire me as a person are people that have either been in long-term relationships or are married or just got engaged. And like, so I do want to get into that, but before that, do you feel like men specifically, in terms of entrepreneurship, business, bettering yourself, do you think that guys waste time trying to just like talk to girls or get like, basically spit game with girls and try and get girls? Do you think guys waste a lot of time doing that?
I would say, shit, I don't know. That's a tough one, man. You threw a curveball at me.
I know I did. I'll go first. I think that, like early on, depending on who your group is. For me, it could be my uncles. Shout out to my uncles or my or my wild cousins. I feel like at early age, like a lot of the time, for guys, a cool thing is like talking to girls or getting a girl to like you and whatnot. And I feel like, for me personally, I think there was a time where I would spend more time doing that than focusing on the real shit. So I was just curious, because at the end of the day, like there's a lot of guys that watch this podcast that think that they're winning that life, but I feel like it's just like, I don't know, I feel like there's a better use of your time sometimes.
I mean, like if I was to like go a little bit more into what you just said, I think like if I was single and I was like spending time on like focusing on getting this girl to like me or getting, spending time to I guess impress a girl.
Yeah.
Right now in the position where I'm at, I'd see it as a total waste of time. Yeah. I can be spending that time on building my business and making more money.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, I think if I was like in high school messing around and like, being a dude, then maybe I probably think of it a lot more different. But I think now, as in the position that I'm in and, where I'm at in life, I'd see it as a total waste of time. Like, I think I'd probably be single for a long time if I wasn't married right now, honestly.
Okay, yeah, I was gonna flip it on you right there. But yeah, I think a lot of the guys that we listen to would say the same thing. Like, look, if you want the girl, work on yourself, and they'll probably come. Like, I think a lot of those guys would probably say that
easily, bro. Because I mean, you start working on yourself, you start to really discover and find out who you really are, bro, and like you start to see what type of people are meant for you. Because I mean, it really puts you in a perspective where you start to see what people you want to be messing with. Right.
Yeah.
You start to see what people you want in your circle and what people you want outside your circle. Right. Yes. And you start to make those changes very quick. You want to start seeing success. Right. And I think a lot of people that are listening right now is like, well, how do I find out, what people to get out of my circle? I mean, the easiest way to find out is see the people that aren't bringing you value. Or if you're a business owner, those people that are asking you for discounts, those are probably the people that shouldn't be in your circle. Because honestly, if you're my friend, you better be paying full price for what I'm offering.
Yeah, no, dude, I agree with that. And that's a hard thing for some people. Some people be like, oh, I just look at friendship differently. I'm like super loyal. I'm like, You know what I'm saying? I hear what you're saying, but I feel like, yeah, you just gotta be, if you want to get to that different level, whether it's financially, emotionally, or how you spend time with your loved ones, right? You want to be around people that do what you want to do, right?
Yeah. Oh,
You
yeah.
got to be cutthroat sometimes. And sometimes it's like, it might be a little hard, but you know, it's ultimately, you know, what's best for you.
I mean, right now we live in a world that's pretty like full of sensitive people. So I mean, to me, I'm pretty blunt, straight, honest
Yeah.
type of guy, you know. So
Oh, that's good.
honestly, like I don't want somebody in my circle. I just cut them off straight right then and there.
Can you tell pretty quickly if someone would be like positive and, or be able to be part of your circle? How fast can you tell with someone's mindset?
Well, I can easily call out BS. I mean, just working at
Yeah.
prison, I was surrounded by it all day, you know. So I learned to pick up on those cues pretty freaking quick,
Yeah.
right? So I think I know when people are BSing, and I know when people are like being straight up,
Yeah.
right? And I think once I get a hold of that, it's really easy for me to be like, this guy's my kind of guy, or oh, I think this guy's not gonna bring me any type of value, right? And you really know those people that are just like trying to be, I guess, friends with you or trying to be in your circle just to kind of like benefit from them. But I like to have people that I'm gonna benefit from, and they're gonna benefit from as well,
Yeah.
right? Because it should definitely go both ways.
Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. So flipping back to what we were talking about. So if you were to give advice to a young guy, would you say stay single, or would you say, hey, pursue a relationship and get married early?
I'd say, I say keep your head down and keep grinding, man.
Yeah.
Like that's just coming from me, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So, but you're married yourself,
Yeah.
and I mean, obviously that's probably helped you more than anything, right?
Oh yeah.
In business.
Yeah, definitely. I think my wife is probably the most most valuable person. She's probably gonna watch it. Like I think my wife is the most valuable person I have right now.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be able to be where I'm at without her. Like she takes care of the baby, you know, when I'm out there hustling, grinding, having those long days
Yeah.
to be able to provide for the family. And if she wasn't there, dude, I'd be lost, bro. Like I could not be a single dad. So I give mad props to all those single ladies out there that are like single moms and stuff, because that is one of the most hardest things in the world, bro.
Yeah.
Like, even me being home alone for like 4 hours with my kid, bro.
Yeah.
That's like the hardest thing. Now imagine 24 hours. Sheesh, man.
So yeah.
But no, like back onto what I was saying though, my wife is definitely like the biggest valuable piece that I've got in my life, you know, and that's the one person that will lock me in and have me locked down to the day I die, because I won't be able to succeed without her. I just won't, bro. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, do you guys talk about everything business, or do you guys keep that separate, or what?
I do. Yeah. I mean, we talk about business. I definitely talk to her like where I want to see myself in the next few years, even before I got into business. Actually, I still remember to this day, I had this conversation with her in the early morning before I even jumped into entrepreneurship. I told her, hey, this is what I'm thinking. I'm thinking about doing this real estate business thing, and I'm going to do it, you know, and I think that this is probably going to be the hardest 5 years for us. But I told her, if you're willing to stick around and support me through it, I bet you it'd be the best life you'll ever have.
Shit,
Yeah, I still remember telling her that, and you know, luckily it didn't take 5 years. You know, it came sooner, but we're living a happy life right now. That's for sure.
That's so sick, dude. That's I feel like that's gold for a lot of people, right?
Yeah,
That's a big win right there.
bro. I mean, I'm telling you, lock down that babe that's gonna get your back, bro.
Yeah, I know.
But I mean, obviously, focus on yourself first.
Yeah, focus. I
Yeah.
mean, yeah, focus on yourself.
Yeah.
Yeah. So let's talk about some other stuff like going on in the U.S.
Ah,
Already, like,
You're gonna get me going, bro.
I what are your thoughts on like what are your thoughts on like the US right now, the economy, and just like everything political? Do you pay attention to that stuff? You're obviously so busy with business, but I'm sure you see stuff, right?
Yeah, I mean, I do. I do.
We got fucking aliens landing, an 8-foot alien. I sent you that video. We got the election coming up. We got fucking the school system. I mean, we got a whole bunch going on. What do you think's going on with the?
I mean, I think we're in a pretty damn scary place right now.
Yeah.
You know, I think the U.S. is. I think if people don't open their eyes, you know, and wake up to see what's really happening, what's going on with our president, all kinds of stuff. We're in for a very rude awakening here, probably less than 2 years.
Yeah, I was hearing stuff like that. China, I mean, so China, like like the world order, right? Like,
Yeah.
U.S. has been number one for I don't know for a while, right?
Yeah.
Because of the currency and whatnot, and with the debt and whatnot, and Russia working with China, that puts America in an interesting position, and
Yeah.
things can change pretty quickly, huh?
Oh yeah. I'm sure you've seen it, but when China's paying our president to make big rule changes and policy changes, that's pretty damn scary.
Yeah.
To know that the head honcho, the guy that's supposed to be protecting us, that's supposed to be giving us, better life and actual freedom,
Yeah.
right? Supposed to be taking care of us, is paying enemies, really.
Yeah. Well, so what I also think is interesting. So, I mean, you're Mexican, right?
Yeah.
So, I mean, or were you born in Mexico? Or were you
I
born here?
wasn't. Yeah.
So you're American.
Yeah.
Okay. But you know what I mean. It's weird how like a lot of people will kind of chastise like Mexican American or Mexican descent like people for being more conservative with their views. Have you noticed that? Like it's kind of I mean, not that I like care,
Yeah.
but it's just interesting to see like how people feel like I don't know.
Well, it's because, bro, we see where our parents come from.
Yeah.
We see that they come from nothing and they come to the United States to give us a better life, right?
Yeah.
So we know how that feels. We know our parents better than they think we know them.
Yeah.
That's easiest put, right?
Yeah.
And I feel like that's the reason why we become so conservative as like Mexican Americans, because we know the struggle that they go through. We know, what it took to put us here.
Yeah.
Right. And we know the reason behind it. It's because they want to see us do better.
Yeah. Yeah, it's so interesting, the right versus the left, just the mindset thing. Because I think a lot of the things that we were talking about earlier in this conversation, right? Like, oh, that person's only successful because, they're attractive or their parents gave them money, whatever. Or you can think of like, I wonder what their parents did early on to set up their family in that way.
Yeah.
It's all about perspective, and I feel like, I don't know. Yeah, we are heading into a world I just don't think serves us. And it's not about being right or wrong against the other two. It's just about like, taking care of our family, taking care of our own health and whatnot.
Yeah, and people are definitely lost right now. I feel like people think that there's not really much they can do.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of things that people can do, right? Getting healthy, right? Getting educated, not being broke. Like, they want you the opposite of that.
Yeah.
And that's what you're not supposed to be. You're not supposed to be broke. You're not supposed to be fat. You're not supposed to be, you're not supposed to be not educated.
Yeah.
And the ways to counter that is by taking action and doing things, that they don't want you to become.
Yeah.
That's when they can easily control us.
Exactly. And I think that's like the mindset, right? It's like, oh, the government will take care of me. Or if I lean heavy into the government or into this ideology, I'll be taken care of, instead of like, nah, let me think for myself and try and build something and really take over, really take control of my destiny.
Yeah. I think you put it perfectly right there. Like, people that are leaning on the government, and I have no like problem with that. There's definitely people that are in shitty situations that definitely, that's there for a reason, right?
Yeah.
For people that are in those shitty situations, but you're meant to come back from that. You're not supposed to make that part of your characteristic or part of who you identify. You're not supposed to let those things identify you.
Yeah.
Right? You're supposed to bounce back from that and seek better living for yourself, seek better opportunities for yourself, right? Keep learning, keep getting better, keep, everything, right? You want to be personally excellent.
Yeah. No, that's what I want, at least. I want to do better. I don't want to just do what's the bare minimum. It feels kind of like a boring life.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just interesting stuff. Interesting stuff. Do you think who do you think is going to be the top candidate for the Republican Party next year?
Definitely my boy Donald Trump.
You think so? Did you see that he just got like
I
there's an article like 400 years the
Yeah.
indictment for having sensitive documents.
Yeah.
It's a long time.
That is a long time.
That's so
I hope
crazy.
he can run from prison.
I don't know. That shit is crazy. That shit's crazy. That whole world, that whole politics is just, I don't know. It's just a whole different world that
Yeah.
kind of draining sometimes, to be honest. That's why I do like talking about business and whatnot, because I feel like you're kind of running your own world. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously there's some things that you have to take part of when it comes to how the country is ran.
Oh,
but
easily. I think us as business owners, we have an obligation to know what's happening out in the real world because, dude, like we're in it. You know, we're pretty much providing for our community as much. You know, we're bringing value at the end of the day, right? So
Yeah.
I think we should know what's happening, and we
Yeah.
should be able to take action of what's going on.
What do you think of, so this is another like kind of a social thing, but I want to get your mind as an entrepreneur. What do you think of like the whole crypto thing I mean, it was pretty popular. Now it's kind of like shaky just with the economy and everything. What's your thoughts on all that?
But I honestly have zero knowledge on crypto.
Yeah?
I threw money into crypto probably like a few years ago, and then I lost some, made some, and then when the market took a crap,
Yeah.
I pulled everything out, and then ever since I've like not cared for it.
Yeah.
I mean I'm big on the conspiracy things too, but you know I feel like it might be some
Which
way-
ones?
I mean it might be some sort of way for the government to control, you know, how we're running our money or playing our money.
What are some big conspiracy theories that I like talk about I like talk about aliens because that shit just, I don't know. I like big dream like things.
I've been big on the alien thing too though. Like
Yeah.
as a kid I've always like I wouldn't say fantasized, but I've always like believed in aliens, you know?
Yeah.
So
I watched
I do
ET.
believe it. Yeah, bro. I watched ET too.
I was like, damn. I wish you ran into my house, man. We'd be homies.
Bro.
That stuff's crazy, and like the simulation and like, yeah, I don't know. I try not to get too tied into it. I have some uncles that are sometimes like, all right, man, come on, we need a break from these conversations. But I also like, yeah, it's fun. I mean, it's fun to think about those things. Yeah. Do you think that or what are your thoughts on like psychedelics and all that? You don't do any drinking, smoking, or anything, right?
I mean, I'll drink like here and there.
Yeah.
I won't drink beer. I'll literally just stick to like straight whiskey
Yeah.
or wine.
Yeah.
You know, that's it. And I won't drink any beer. And if I'm drinking, it's got to be like a special occasion. I feel really, really good. Again,
Yeah.
smoking, I'd love to smoke cigars. That's about it. I don't smoke weed. I don't do shrooms. I don't do any of that.
Is that just something that you've always been about, or do you just think that's the right way, or what?
No, I have nothing against anybody that does them.
Yeah.
Just
Just
the
not
way,
you.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's just not me.
Okay,
I've never thought about experimenting either. Like,
yeah.
I just don't care for it, I guess, right? And I don't see people different, you know, unless you're doing meth. I've seen what meth can do to people.
Oh shit. Oh,
You know,
God.
meth and heroin, fentanyl.
No, I mean, I'm glad to see like people are open about it, because like Joe Rogan, obviously he does psychedelics, very successful. Andy Frisella, he would talk about you know, after work he would, you know, smoke a J and
Yeah.
go on some phone calls. So like, I was just curious.
Yeah.
Let's talk about some of these prison stories. What's
Yeah.
what's like the craziest shit that happened in the prison?
Oh, man, dude. I mean, like I said, I worked there for 5 years, so I saw a lot of shit. You know?
Yeah.
So I think probably one of the craziest things that happened was during COVID, actually. I got deployed over to the Spokane prison, Airway Heights, and they had pretty much taken over the prison the inmates had, because they're like not accustomed to the way that they were living because of the new COVID regulations. They just had massive rule changes, and when there's massive rule changes in the prison, these people are totally against it because they're so accustomed to living a certain way, right?
Yeah.
Living the same way every single day. So I remember that they had pretty much taken over the prison. Everybody was pissed off, and we got deployed over there. And I remember walking into this unit, bro, and there's literally like it was like me and my partner to like 190 something inmates, bro. These guys were just all out, super pissed because we were like locking them down. And they're like just getting ready to go at it, bro. Like everybody versus everybody type thing, and like us versus them type shit. Yeah.
Really?
So I think that's probably like one of the scariest things. I've found shanks on people, on inmates. You know, I've seen people get their heads smashed in. Like I've seen people go at it. I've seen people get stabbed. I think one of the craziest stories that I could probably tell right now is like there's this child molester, right?
Yeah.
That was celled up with this other guy that I think he was in for like robbery or something like that. But they were celled up, and then the child molester, he wanted to like watch a certain thing on TV. And if you know anything about prison, child molesters don't have much of a say, right?
Yeah. I've heard that. I've heard that.
They're pretty much sanctioned. Like
Yeah.
they can't do anything. They have no say in anything. Anyways, child molester wanted to watch something. Robbery dude was like, hell no, we're not. And then child molester was like, yes, we are. Bro, these guys went at it in the cell. This old dude was like cut up. You can literally see his brains, bro. I kid you not, smashed in. I remember pulling these guys out of the cell. There's like, dude, it looked like a pig was just killed. I don't know if you ever seen
Gosh.
I don't know if you've ever killed a pig or seen a pig get killed or whatever, but dude, there was a ton of blood all over the cell.
Really?
Yeah, it looked like a murder scene. This dude was luckily still alive.
Shit.
He survived, bro. But I don't know how he survived, but that was probably like the craziest thing. And I was like 20 years old at the time, because I started working there when I was 18.
Oh shit,
Yeah.
bro.
And even before that, I saw some crazy stuff that, I mean, when you see stuff like that, bro, it matures you up pretty freaking quick.
Yeah, I
Like,
know.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. What are some of the biggest like lessons that you learned from working at the prison?
I mean, when you're in a prison, you really have the only thing that you can use as a weapon are your words, because you don't have a gun. So if stuff hits the fan, you know, you really have to use your words to either de-escalate a situation, or you got pepper spray, which is a small little can like this. It's probably gonna last you like 5 seconds,
Yeah.
right? And people can fight through pepper spray.
Yeah.
Some people, it doesn't even affect them. So, I mean, really just learning how to use my words, learning how to de-escalate people, and really how to use my words to manipulate people. Like, you know, you learn how to really talk to people efficiently and in a very powerful manner.
Yeah.
I think that's probably been one of my biggest lessons. And then just being confident in what I do, you know, I learned very fast that working there at a young age, when I first got in there and was talking to people, I talked to people with a very shaky voice, right? Scared. Because imagine being 18 years old, surrounded by murderers, you know, people are like robbing stuff, killing people, and just like all kinds of crazy stuff.
Yeah.
You get scared, bro. Like I was scared. I still remember the first day I walked into that prison and I was like, dude, I don't think I should be here. Like, I was scared shitless,
I
bro.
bet, bro.
You know, so you start to really adapt, right? You start to learn things. You start to really learn how to talk to people and just, like I said, de-escalate people and use your words. Yeah, that's probably been like my biggest takeaway.
Yeah, I mean, I'm sure that helps you today with business, right? I mean, if someone says like, "Hey, I have this huge project. I really need someone to knock it out of the park," and you're like, "Yeah, I think I can. I think I can make it happen." Like, and then versus someone who's like, "Oh yeah,
That's cake.
well, I'll have to check my schedule to see if we would even be a good fit."
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that's a whole
Yeah.
different vibe, right?
Exactly. Yeah. I mean, exactly how you put it, bro.
Yeah.
Like, it's like talking in a confident manner versus not talking in a confident manner. Like people will call you out clear as day, super quick, right?
Yeah.
I think I mean, to put yourself in the situation, would you rather work with a surgeon that's like doesn't know what the hell he's doing, or the surgeon has been doing it for 20 years? I kind of see it the same way.
Yeah.
You know, like the dude that's probably been doing it for years, probably not as confident as the guy's been doing it for 30, 40 years.
Yeah. Do you think the prisons system helps people overall?
No.
No.
Hell no. No, I saw a lot of people come in and out, you know, like I used to know dudes by their names, like, cause I've seen them come back through like 2 or 3 times.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think for some people, it's definitely like a reality check. I'm not going to say it's not for some people. I think it just really depends, like how disciplined you are and like where you are mentally.
Yeah.
I think if you really want to come out of a bad situation, then you're really going to make it happen for yourself, because you start to realize other people aren't going to be there for you, even in your darkest times, right? And
Yeah.
you really got to find what's inside of you to drag you out of there, right? And pretty much execute on that situation and make things happen for you.
Yeah. Damn. Okay, so let's talk about overall like legacy in your direction. Where do you see yourself, or like what's your vision? What I like to ask people is like, you know, how if you, I mean, I think you're already here, right? But if you could design your life to a T, design your day to a T, what would that look like? And yeah, and overall, where do you see yourself? Like, what's the vision?
I definitely want to build an empire, you know, with the business I'm in right now. I've always seen it that way. So I definitely want to grow an empire to where I have people working for me and I'm just the CEO and just pretty much leading a group of people that are doing good, you know, helping other people. And I do want to get into other business ventures like the gym, right? And start to get more into like service-based businesses. I want to start maybe even investing into other businesses. I definitely have a nice big house, you know, and just give my family ultimately the life they deserve, right? Because I'm definitely slaving away right now, but on the back end, you know, I know my wife is out there, you know, enduring that pain as well.
Yeah. So just building that empire and
building a legacy, bro.
Yeah.
You know, for the family. Paying off my parents' house, that's definitely number one.
Do you think you see yourself staying in the Tri-Cities? Do you think you see yourself moving?
No, I'll stay here in Tri-Cities.
Yeah.
Dude, I love Tri-Cities. I grew up here and I don't see myself anywhere else. I hate huge cities. So like I hate Seattle. I hate Spokane. Like I even like going to Vegas or like St. Louis where I was just at recently. Like, bro, I hate big cities. I just don't see myself going anywhere else. It's nice to go out there and venture off and do, you know, have a little vacation once in a while, but I get tired of big cities very quick.
You went to St. Louis recently?
Yeah.
What was that for?
We went for the Arte syndicate event. So it's pretty much a huge group of people that are just entrepreneurs and intrapreneurs that have the same mindset, bro. Just winning, growing in life, and it's just some crazy high level people, bro. You know, you think that your networking group is crazy. This group is just insane.
Yeah.
It's got some people that are making $10 million a month plus. Like, these guys talk about money like it's a form of art. Like,
oh, shit.
You know, that's probably the best way for me to put it is like, they're super humble, not even materialistic. Like, they're not stuck up people. They're just a bunch of people that are willing to help you grow and succeed, you know? And I think I was lucky enough to get into this group. This group is only like 2,000 of us, bro. And it's led by Andy Frisella and Ed Milet.
Oh, okay.
So it's led by these two guys, and I put in an application. I didn't think I was going to get in the first time because I've heard people put in like dozens and dozens of times. So I went through the application process, and dude, thank God I got in, bro, the first time. And I'm blessed to be in there, that's for sure, because that group alone has helped me a ton.
Really?
Yeah.
Just in like what aspect? Just like
everything, bro. It's not just business, you know, it's life, relationships, you know, everything. Just every single form of life, you know, every single bit of it, bro. Yeah.
Would you recommend everyone try and find that tribe, that community that gets them to the next level?
Oh, definitely. I think it's so hard to think that I would be here where I'm at by myself, because it's definitely not how it works. Like, I definitely learned very quick that in order to be where I'm at now, I needed to find people with similar mindsets, right? People that are going to be there whenever I need it the most, and just people with the same mindset, same goals as me, right? Because I don't want to surround myself with somebody that thinks that they're going to be stuck in life for like that's. I don't want to say it this way, but I guess I should.
Hey, be blunt. We're blunt here, man.
Yeah, I'm gonna be blunt. But like, I don't want to be talking to somebody that's working at McDonald's and only has the vision of working at McDonald's and being a cashier, right?
Yeah.
I want to be surrounded by people that want to see better and greater in their life, and that just want to grow as individuals, help their family grow, and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, of course. I mean, like we said, sometimes you just gotta cut ties with people that aren't serving you.
Yeah, no, exactly, bro. That's well put.
Okay, well, I mean, I think we had a pretty good podcast here. I mean, we could probably get into some more conspiracy things, but I don't know how much that serves us. But I just really enjoy talking with you, man. Because I mean, we were working out at 5 a.m. and man, that was motivating me. Seeing how much work you put in, and I can only imagine that you replicate that with your own business, day-to-day stuff. So I just thought it'd be good to have you come on, talk about mindset, business. I mean, if I were to sum it up for someone, don't go to college, grind on yourself. Networking is powerful. The way you use your voice is powerful. Finding your community is kind of how you mature and evolve yourself. And yeah, do you one of the things I think is important is obviously, like you said, like your name, right? Your name travels through word of mouth and whatnot. What would you say to someone that maybe has their name damaged for whatever reason? Maybe they started a business and it didn't do so well, and they're like, man, I learned a lot from that. What's your recommendation to someone for trying to get out of that?
Yeah, I think, I mean, there's definitely so many things you can fix, but, you know, whatever that time may be, whether it's like a relationship, you know, or you, you know, you just messing up, is definitely owning up to it, bro. Because you've got to be able to own up to your mistakes, because we all make them, that's for sure. But that's just us being the bigger person. You definitely come out stronger. You know, I've messed up a ton of times, bro. And I've always just learned to call myself out before the other person even figures out, or, you know, calling myself out so that way they know, like, hey, this dude's a solid ass dude.
Yeah.
Maybe I wasn't in the right headspace when I was judging him, or maybe I wasn't thinking right. But I think it's just owning up to whatever that mistake might be, or just building that relationship, you know, far more than what it was.
I'm sure you're a fan of, or maybe you're not. I'm sure you're a fan of not burning any bridges.
Yeah, I mean, I don't like to burn bridges. No, I don't. You know, I really try to nurture my relationships, and like I said, if I gotta cut ties with anybody, I will.
Respectfully, probably. Yeah. I mean, there's no reason to be, you know, extra.
Oh yeah, there's no reason to be extra. Like, I'm not gonna be like messed up, and I'm being like, hey, bro, you totally suck. We can't be friends.
Yeah, just like, schedule just got a little too busy. So
yeah, exactly. No, bro, like, I appreciate you having me on, and dude, this was super cool, and I really hope that you guys found value in what I had to say in like our discussion. Just to circle back on the college thing, obviously there is things that you should go to college for. Like, obviously I want my doctor to be, you know, go to college or whatever, but
oh, you do?
Yeah, well, yeah, I'm not completely against college, but I think like a lawyer or like doctors, you know, like those guys should have degrees. But but like if it's business or like any other kind of thing that you can teach yourself, don't even waste your time.
No, I hear you. I obviously for some things you got to get a degree, but I just,
because I know we're probably gonna get some comments and like, this dude's a jackass. You don't know what he's talking about.
No, but that's the thing about this podcast, and what I want to do is just I want to make mistakes in my thought process and be real about it, because that's the only way you're gonna evolve. Maybe 2 years from now I'll look back on this and I'm like, that was my perspective at that time, but it changes. And that's, I think people resonate that when you're real about something. Maybe you're not sure, you're playing with an idea. Just because you throw an idea out there and you play with it doesn't mean that that's your identity or that's your story forever. You know, we're all trying to figure things out.
Yeah, 100%. I think it just comes back to that thing about the books earlier. Like, you read a book several times, you know, depending where you're at in life, you start to pick up on different gems from that book that impact you a certain way during that time.
Yeah, so this is great, man. So I would love to have you on again some other time. I know you're going to keep doing new things and keep growing your empire. Where can people find you and reach out to you? And is there anything else you want to say to the people out there?
Yeah, so I mean, I can be found on Instagram, luciano.galvez, or luciano.iggalvez. I think that's what it is. I don't know. We'll put it down somewhere.
Yeah, we'll put it in there.
Yeah, because I don't even remember my own Instagram handle. We're going to put it somewhere down there. But I mean, guys, just keep hustling, man. Like, life is definitely full. There's a lot of things out there you can be doing, and it's just a matter of you taking action, You know, when you see people being successful, it's definitely not by luck. You know, people are really hurting to be successful. There's a lot of pain that goes through it. There's a lot of tears that go behind it. And just, you know, really hunch down, grind, and keep your head down.
Couldn't said it any better. Thanks, guys, for tuning in. Please like, subscribe, share, comment if you disagree, comment if you agree. We're, you know, all that's open. And thanks for watching. And yeah, we're out.